If an investigation were about to end, would the guy running the investigation hire even more prosecutors? You tell me. Donald Trump has been telling us for a long time now that we're almost at the end of this thing. The Mueller investigation is just about to end. We heard last year that it would be over by Thanksgiving 2017. When it didn't end, we were told it would be over by New Year's Day, January 1, 2018. That didn't happen. Throughout early 2018 and even over the last month or so, we've been told time and time again that it's almost over. We're really almost at the end here. And we learned over the weekend that special counsel Robert Mueller has hired even more prosecutors to work the investigation. Prosecutors, as the name implies, prosecute. You hire them if you want them to partake in prosecution and prosecution-related activities. And the report is that Robert Mueller is going to be expanding that team and potentially even stepping away from some of the casework. I've said it before, and I'm going to remind you. If the investigation ended today, the prosecution of the cases we already have could take years. If we have another 6 to 12 months of investigation and further indictments, we are looking at this stretching into Donald Trump's second term for sure, or potentially even into, well, depending on whether Trump wins or loses, the next president's first term. So far, we have 20 indictments and 5 guilty pleas. At the end of the day, I don't pretend to know what will happen. I get emails from people, Pat, who say, David, why are you so sure that XYZ is going to go down or that Trump's inner circle is going to end up in prison? I've never said anything like that. I don't know what's ultimately going to happen. What I do know is that, number one, there's no evidence or indication that this investigation is almost over. That's number one. Number two, we know that Watergate took years. That means that this may take years. If this is bigger than Watergate, it could take significantly longer than Watergate. And this gets us right back to, don't beat me up, Pat, but I've got to mention it. This gets us right back to voting in 2018 and 2020. I was thinking over the weekend, why might someone want to vote in November? Well, as I mentioned earlier, don't hurt me. I know I mentioned this. Midterm turnout is often low. That means your vote, if you choose to vote, matters more. House and Senate control is key to stopping the Trump agenda. Taking over the House and Senate in 2018 better positions you to win in 2020. But related to the Mueller investigation, Mueller can say whatever he wants. He can issue whatever findings he wants to issue. Republicans are not going to act on Mueller's findings. Mueller has been smeared and discredited, and while it's bogus, it works with the right, it works with Republicans, and that is going to provide cover for Republicans when Mueller finally tells us whatever it is that he found. Republicans will say, these are political reports. We can't act on what Mueller found because Mueller is compromised, which is why Democrats must take over the House and Senate so that they will act on whatever Mueller's findings are.
Yeah, and it's also becoming increasingly clear that a sitting president cannot be indicted. So if Trump is going to face any criminal repercussions for what he may have done, it would have to come through impeachment.
After, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and that's not going to happen if Democrats don't have control of the House or Senate.
No question about it. No question about it. So whatever you care about, if it's seeing consequences to the Mueller investigation or seeing the tariffs that are destroying farmers who, by the way, are mostly still supporting Trump, even though Trump is hurting them. It's a stunning cognitive dissonance that's going on. Whatever is important to you, it all leads back to voting in November. What's the date? I would be able to say November
6th?
Is it the 6th?
Don't hold me to that.
Yeah, I don't know what in the first week of November of 2018. Quick break. We will be back after this. Discuss this or any stories of interest from today's show on the David Pakman Show subreddit at davidpakman.com/REDDIT. Today's program made possible in part by ZipRecruiter. Hiring used to be very difficult. Multiple job sites, stacks of resumes, a confusing review process. But ZipRecruiter makes hiring much easier. You only have to go to one place to get it done. It's ZipRecruiter.com/Pakman. ZipRecruiter sends your job to over 100 of the web's leading job boards, but they don't stop there. With their powerful matching technology, ZipRecruiter will scan thousands of resumes to find people with the right experience and invites them to apply to your job. As the applications come in, ZipRecruiter analyzes each one, spotlights the top candidates so you don't miss a great match. And ZipRecruiter is so effective that 80% of employers get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter is the highest rated hiring site in the US. And our viewers and listeners can try ZipRecruiter for free at the exclusive website, ZipRecruiter.com/Pakman. ZipRecruiter.com/PAKMAN. Try it free as a David Pakman Show viewer or listener. ZipRecruiter.com/Pakman.